Abington Company's fire released toxic fumes. Ignitable waste fueled the blaze. Past EPA violations indicate negligence. Cleanup efforts are underway. The Abington Company fire highlights hazardous waste mismanagement. Ignitable materials caused a large inferno. Previous EPA infractions were ignored. Toxic smoke billowed from the Abington Company fire. The presence of ignitable waste worsened the disaster. EPA violations had gone unaddressed. Abington Company's history includes multiple EPA violations. The recent fire involved readily ignitable waste. Toxic substances were released into the air. The devastating fire at Abington Company involved ignitable waste. Toxic chemicals were released. Past EPA violations contributed to this incident. A massive fire engulfed Abington Company. Ignitable, toxic waste exacerbated the situation. Repeated EPA violations were previously documented. Abington Company's negligence led to a catastrophic fire. Highly ignitable, toxic materials fueled the flames. The EPA's past warnings were ignored. The Abington Company fire spread rapidly. Ignitable toxic waste created a dangerous inferno. Previous EPA violations went unpunished. Toxic waste ignited at the Abington Company facility. The resulting fire released harmful pollutants. EPA's records show numerous violations. Abington Company's fire demonstrates a failure of safety. Ignitable toxic materials caused extensive damage. Past EPA violations were never rectified. The Abington Company experienced a serious fire. Ignitable and toxic substances caused significant harm. EPA records detail past violations. A large-scale fire at Abington Company. Large quantities of ignitable, toxic waste were involved. Numerous prior EPA violations existed. Emergency crews battled a major fire at Abington Company. The blaze involved toxic and ignitable waste. Past EPA infractions raise concerns. The Abington Company fire underscores lax safety standards. The presence of ignitable toxic waste worsened the impact. EPA violations were apparent. Abington Company's failure to address safety issues resulted in a fire. The fire involved large amounts of ignitable waste. Prior EPA violations were overlooked. A significant fire broke out at Abington Company. Toxic, ignitable materials fueled the blaze. Their history shows EPA non-compliance. The Abington Company fire released dangerous toxins. Ignitable waste contributed to the intense fire. EPA citations were previously issued. Abington Company's disregard for safety regulations led to disaster. Toxic, ignitable materials ignited and burned fiercely. Past EPA penalties were ignored. The fire at Abington Company was fueled by ignitable waste. Toxic chemicals were released into the environment. Previous EPA actions were ineffective. Abington Company's unsafe practices culminated in a devastating fire. The fire released toxic fumes from ignitable waste. EPA records confirm violations. A massive fire at Abington Company caused widespread concern. Ignitable and toxic materials were involved. The EPA's history with the company is troubling. The Abington Company fire demonstrates a lack of accountability. Ignitable and toxic waste were present on site. Past EPA violations remain unresolved. Abington Company's fire highlighted a serious environmental hazard. The fire involved significant quantities of ignitable waste. EPA's past interventions failed. Investigations into the Abington Company fire are underway. The blaze involved the release of toxic substances. Past EPA violations are being reviewed.